It is the one night a year where WWE unleashes the most demonic structure in all of professional wrestling. The one night where several souls, 6 of them tonight, will literally go to hell. This is the Devil's Playground. This is Hell in a Cell. Hello, friends, and welcome to our Hell in a Cell recap edition of the Wrestling Forum. Ridiculously over Anthony Florio, the man who tells it like it is. I'm here with you along with my elite panel, good old MF Michael Fletcher. We got the Phenom Michael Bullock. And for the first time in a while, we got the first lady of the Wrestling Forum joining us tonight, the Twisted Angel Dee Dee Woodson. Friends, we witnessed history tonight inside Hell in a Cell. 3 Hell in a Cell matches, all of them delivered as far as I'm concerned. And how did the event as a whole deliver? Did it meet our expectations? Was it not so good like Monday Night Raw has been? Well, you're about to find out because this is our recap show right here. Hell in a Cell was live tonight from the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, the home of the NHL's Boston Bruins, the NBA's Boston Celtics. And, well, let's if it's okay with you guys, well, I'm only going to do this. I'm only going to do this for me. We usually don't cover pre-show fights, but only I am going to cover this pre-show match because I really enjoyed this pre-show match here. It was a 6-man tag team match from the Cruiserweight division, and you had Cedric Alexander, Lince Dorado, Sin Cara going up against Tony Nese, Drew Gulak, and Arya Daivari. And a quick note, and I had to share a liner note here. Mauro Ranallo was on the call for this match. Yes, Mauro Ranallo, who worked the Cruiserweight Classic along with Daniel Bryan. He worked this match with Corey Graves. And I know a lot of people have been dying to see Mauro Ranallo and Corey Graves as a commentary team. Well, you got your wish tonight, and they did a fantastic job with this match. And as far as the match was concerned, Sin Cara, Lince Dorado, Cedric Alexander gets the win. Cedric Alexander with his backbreaker finisher move on Drew Gulak for the win. 9 minutes, 45 seconds. 3 to 3.5 stars from my taste. It was a great 6-man opener. And honestly, it was so fun to watch. And, I know we've been very critical of the Cruiserweight division, and I get it. And I know a lot of people haven't really enjoyed the Cruiserweight matches and the whole 9 yards, but who cares, man? It was a great way to start it off. So that's all I can say on that. So well done indeed to WWE on that one. So that's a great way to get the crowd excited for the events of the night. So I just wanted to get that one off my chest. But now let's get into the serious business now. The main card of Hell in a Cell. And we started it off fittingly with the first of our 3 Hell in a Cell matches. This one was for the United States Heavyweight Championship. Champion Roman Reigns defending the title against challenger and former champion Rusev. Winner of the match in about 25, from between 24 minutes and 59 seconds to about 25 minutes or so. Winner of the match, and still the WWE United States Heavyweight Champion Roman Reigns with the spear. One of the top 3 fights of the night. There's no question about it. You know what? I'm just going to give you a quick little spoiler alert. All 3 Hell in a Cell matches are the 3 fights of the night. I think we're all in agreement on that. I hope we're all in agreement on that. Between 24:35 to 24:59. Yes, it was slow and plodding at times, but at least they didn't do anything to steal the show and make life difficult for the other 2 Hell in a Cell matches that had to follow it. I know there were some that said, well, I didn't need nearly 25 minutes from Reigns and Rusev when we never had a doubt as to the outcome, but going long was probably the right move to make the match feel as epic as possible in terms of making the Hell in a Cell gimmick feel big. To me, this was 3.5 to 4 stars. This was a very good Hell in a Cell match, and I can honestly say this was the best match of their series. Of course, the SummerSlam match never got off the ground. We all know that. The Clash of the Champions match was a little better, but not overly great. And what else is there to say except that was a great Hell in a Cell match. And say what you want about Roman Reigns, say what you want about Rusev, but these two guys, they brought it tonight. And, they took full advantage of the Hell in a Cell. They used weapons. They used kendo sticks. They used tables. They used the ring steps. And the one spot of the match that I'm going to remember is Rusev locking in the accolade on Roman Reigns on the steel step while he had a chain around Roman's jaw. Wow, that was great. That was that was an awesome spot right there. And of course, WWE positioning Roman Reigns as John Cena 2.0. You've heard of Super Cena. Well, tonight we saw Super Roman, and Roman overcame the odds. No big surprise, and speared him off the top of the step. Though I'll give him that. That was a nice spot too. And then Roman Reigns getting the win here. I mean, the outcome was never in doubt. We all knew Roman was going to retain, but I know there were some that felt this was going to be the worst of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches. Not to me. This one delivered in every sense of the words. So hats off to both guys. I strongly feel that both of these guys will be a part of Team Raw in that traditional Survivor Series elimination match, the 5-on-5 with the men. They're both going to be on Team Raw. I still feel it. So we'll see how that plays out. We don't know who Roman's next challenger is going to be, but whoever it is, hopefully we can get a halfway decent feud out of it, and hopefully we can get some more competitive quality bouts out of it. So well done, Roman. Well done, Rusev. Hats off. 3.5 to 4 stars. I probably would say maybe second or third best fight of the night on my end, because like I said, the 3 Hell in a Cell matches are the top 3 fights of the night. Hopefully all of us are in agreement on that. So good old MF, Michael Fletcher, come on in. Let's the host of the Cerebral Smack Talk as well, by the way. MF, Roman Reigns, Rusev, Hell in a Cell, the first of the 3. Did it deliver or what?
It delivered. I'll agree with that. However, it is the third best fight of the night. And it is the weakest of the 3. Let's be realistic here. I thought it was definitely a great match. I'll give you the 3.5 stars. I definitely agree with that. I thought the body of work of everybody involved was good. I kind of didn't like the fact that it went 25 minutes. I would have preferred 20 for this fight. I thought 25 was a little bit overkill in my eyes, because these are big men. They are trying to push the limits, which is great. I love the fact that they did that. I think the overall spectrum is, like you said, the outcome was not in doubt. The outcome was predictable, which is fine. But, I mean, at the end of the day, this was a great match. And I truly believe this was, without a doubt, a very solid Hell in a Cell. And like you said, the 3 top fights of the night is going to be the Hell in a Cell matches. The triple main event is probably going to get 1, 2, 3 across the board, I predict. But this one definitely gets bronze medal position in my eyes. I just don't see how it could go any more higher than 3.5. So with that said, Michael Bullock, I give it to you.
Yes, I'm going to agree. 3.5 stars is my rating for the fight. I mean, a good Hell in a Cell match, and I love the fact that they used a ton of weapons like the steel steps or the kendo stick. But like Florio mentioned, the 6th spot was when Rusev put that accolade on Roman Reigns on the steel steps and wrapping that steel chain around his jaw. I'm like, whoa, that's a little sickening if I'm going to be quite honest. But yeah, I mean, it certainly delivered, and yeah. So now the thing is, what's next for Roman Reigns when it comes to the United States Heavyweight Championship? We'll just have to wait and see. But and I do agree with Anthony. I think it's gonna that maybe both of these men will definitely be part of Team Raw as part of that 5-on-5 traditional Survivor Series elimination match. But yes, but either way, 3.5 stars is my rating. So, Dee Woodson, so come on in and give us your thoughts on this this first of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches.
An awesome way to start off a pay-per-view. I will say that. For me, out of 3 Hell in a Cells, this was probably the second best. There's one. I'll probably have it reversed from what you guys have. Probably, I'm not sure, but I like this one better than one of the other 2 cell matches. But yeah, I'll give it about 3.5 to 4 stars. It was a very, very good match, and I definitely agree that the highlight spot was with that chain. I mean, that was just sick. More than likely, yeah, I see probably them in the Survivor Series for Raw and on the Raw team and stuff like that. So there's no telling what's coming up next, but we'll see. So I'll toss it back to Florio.
All right, let's move on to our next match, and we go to the undercard now. The first of our 2 women's matches, and this is the match that Michael Bullock and Michael Fletcher have had a major vested interest in. Michael Bullock's girl, Bayley, going up against MF's newest favorite girl, Dana Brooke. Winner of the match, in between 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Well, in between 6 minutes and 25 seconds to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Go nuts, Bullock. It's Bayley. Bayley gets the win with the Bayley to belly. 6 minutes, 25 seconds to 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Like I said, Bayley gets the Duke with the Bayley to belly. And that's, I'm sorry, your newest favorite girl that you've been so high on took the defeat here in this one. Your thoughts?
Hey, Bayley's probably grooming herself to be the next major contender for the title, so no doubt about it, they need to make her look good. And plus, with the way that they've been booking Bayley, it's almost been, I don't want to say embarrassing, but it has. I mean, from enhancement talents, then they had that absolute arm wrestling contest on Monday Night Raw, which I know not to bring it up, but it has to. I mean, but now you had this fight tonight, and I'm sorry, this is not pay-per-view quality. This is what you see on Monday Night Raw. I mean, 6.5 minutes, all right, fine. The fans, the crowd in Boston, definitely behind Bayley, no doubt. So I mean, good for her. She gets a big win. So that means she's probably now in the picture for the WWE Women's title on Raw. So I got nothing bad to say about it. To me, it's only maybe stars. That's all I could really give it. But other than that, that's it. So I mean, Michael Bullock, go ahead, man. It's time to celebrate. Go ahead. Wax poetic on your girl. She got a big win here tonight in Beantown.
Oh, she needed this win in a big way. Because with the way they've been booking her lately, they've been making her look like complete and utter garbage. If I'm going to be quite honest. And I was ready to go on a rant if she had lost, but I mean, I know that people are probably critical of this match. I mean, being on the card, but hey, I mean, this was sort of like a cool down period after what we saw with the first of the 3 Hell in a Cell matches, and so I thought the match was good for what it was, and I know it was a short amount of time, but I'll give it about maybe 1.25 stars if I'm going to be quite honest. But it was okay for what it was. But hey, like I already said, they needed that cool down period. So, and this is what they needed. So, Dee Woodson, I know you've always been critical of the women's division. And what did you think of this?
Well, I agree. It was definitely a cool down match. And as I guess you can say, the head of the Ohio chapter of Huggers. You know, I'm very pleased that Bailey pulled it off and everything. I'd probably give this match maybe 1.5 to 1 3/4. It was the match itself. I mean, it was very good, but I do agree with Fletch. It was a little bit more of a Raw quality match over a pay-per-view quality match, but it was definitely placed in a good place for a cool down match from the way the show started with that Hell in a Cell match. So, like I said, I don't really have anything negative to say. The girls did a very good job, you know, and giving it to for the audience. It's just the match itself just wasn't what you would really want to see on a pay-per-view, but perfect for cooling off the audience from the big win from the first match. So I'm going to toss it up.
I'm right there with you on your rating, Didi Woodson. I got it. I had it as 1 3/4 to 2 stars for my rating. Like MF said, it was a basic television match. The live crowd liked Bailey. It'll be interesting to see if Bailey moves on and enters the title picture coming out of this. Little question that comes to my mind though: whatever happened to Nia Jax? Don't worry, you'll see her soon enough. But you know, we definitely wanted. I just definitely wanted to throw that out there. But nonetheless, though, you know, basic TV bout, like MF said, and you know, I pretty much agree with everything that MF and Didi Woodson and Bullock had to say. So, big win indeed for Bailey. She needed it, no question about it. And maybe now she could be possibly the next challenger for the Raw Women's Championship. So, that's really all there is to say on that. So, so with that being said, let's move on to our next match, and it's another undercard match. The tag team match. We had the Wrestling Forum's favorite tag team, Enzo and Big Cass, going up against Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Winners of the match. I got to get to my liner notes here for the time of the bout. Okay. Winners of the match in between, it ranges from 6 minutes and 42 seconds to 6 minutes and 45 seconds. We got a stunner here. Hello, what's this? Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson won this match? Yes, they did. I'm not kidding. Gallows and Anderson actually won a match. I can't believe it. Boy, howdy, that's a sight for sore eyes. So I believe Michael Bullock starts it off, and sorry, Bullock. I guess we're not going to be able to do our SAWFT celebration tonight.
No, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson basically canceled those plans for us tonight. But yeah, this was a stunner here. I mean, I'll give it somewhere between 1.5 to 2 stars. I mean, because of the unpredictability. I mean, when Florio and I did our preview show, I mean, both you and I, we thought Enzo Amore and Big Cass were gonna win this, but no, they actually put Gallows and Anderson over, and quite frankly, I mean, I read Derek Ferrera's review and or preview, I should say, and he predicted Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson were gonna win this, and I thought he was nuts, but on his prediction, I got to give Derek Ferrera credit where it's due. So yeah, the match I thought was good for what it was, even though maybe it was another typical Raw quality match instead of pay-per-view quality, but the unpredictability, I mean, it was I don't think anybody had these two winning it. So yeah, so maybe hopefully now this puts them back in contention for maybe a shot at the tag team titles. I don't know. We'll definitely have to see. But to me, this was a win that Gallows and Anderson needed, because let's be realistic. They've been booked like crap for a while, but who knows? Maybe this is the start of a turnaround for them. But we'll just wait and see. But 1.5 to 2 stars is my rating. So Didi Woodson, I give it to you.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with the rating. It was definitely good to see, a different team come out on top. Although, like y'all said, Cass and Enzo are the fan favorites, but as they put it, Gal and Andy pulled it off and won tonight. So, not much more to say about it. I mean, it was a fairly good match. So, it's Florio.
Yes. Let me. How did I rate this? 2.25. I'm actually going to give it about 2.25 stars. Actually, 2 to 2.25 stars. Nice to see Gallows and Anderson get a needed win. It would be nice to see Gallows and Anderson develop some momentum, but I suspect that this is just the beginning for this feud. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Enzo and Cass pick up the next win down the road. But ladies and gentlemen, breaking news: it has just gone final.
Yep,
The Chicago Cubs. The Chicago Cubs have lived to see another day. They have staved off elimination. They defeat the Cleveland Indians 3-2 in Game 5 of the World Series. The Indian series lead has now been cut from 3-1 down to 3-2. We will have a Game 6. This series is going back to Cleveland. Game 6 on Tuesday night. So for all you people in Ohio, Dee Woodson and family, you're going to have to wait at least 48 more hours to celebrate. So that's it. Cubs win. Cubs win. Cubs win. 3-2.
Yeah, what did I tell you, Florio? Last
You're right. You were right. I'll give you credit. But now let's see them go. Now let's see them win 2 in a row in Cleveland. Now let's.
Well, hey, they won in Game 2. I mean, it's possible they can do it.
And let's not forget, they got the former Cy Young Award winner Jake Arrieta on the mound.
Indeed, they do. So
they may have a chance to take Game 6 as well.
Sure can. Anything can happen.
And the big question is, how is Josh Tomlin going to do on short rest?
Great question. I don't know. We'll find out on Tuesday night, and we'll be and MF. I'm sure you will. I'm more than sure you will keep our fine viewers out there informed of the happenings of this game during our show on Tuesday night.
Oh, most definitely. If an update is warranted, we'll definitely have it on the Cerebral Smack Talk, no doubt.
All right, very good. So
for Chicago, and they live to see another day, and the Cubs are sending their home crowd at Wrigley Field in their last home game, something to be happy about.
Indeed, and that's good. And I'm glad, because if the Indians are going to win the World Series, I'd rather they do it in Cleveland than in Chicago. So they've been those people.
I'm sure Matt Ward is relieved about it.
Yeah, he can breathe a sigh of relief for at least 48 more hours. So Game 6 of that Tuesday night. We'll get more into that down the line. But getting back to this, like I said, I'm going to give it 2 to 2.25 stars for my effort. Like I said, very nice to see Gallows and Anderson get a much needed win. I mean, yes, I would have rather have seen Enzo and Cass get the win, especially after that awesome, especially after the pre-match, their pre-match routine that they did. I mean, I can honestly say that was the best one they've done yet. I mean, Enzo and Cass are so over. It's awesome. It's a shame they couldn't follow it up with a win, but hey, Gallows and Anderson needed it a lot more, because let's face it, ever since they came to WWE, they've been booked like hot monkey garbage, and I'm glad to see them actually get a meaningful win on a pay-per-view in an IWC hotspot like Boston, Massachusetts, our neck of the woods here in New England. But honestly, while I suspect this is just the beginning of this feud, don't be surprised if we see these two teams end up on the Raw tag team, on Team Raw for that big tag team elimination match at Survivor Series, the 10-on-10, which I'm getting downright giddy just thinking about, because it's been 28 long years. So I cannot wait for that. But nonetheless, 2 to 2.25 stars. That's the effort. Nice to see Gallows and Anderson get the win. Solid match. Another TV quality bout, but I felt this one was just a smidgen better than Bailey and Dana. So that's it. That's my piece. So MF, your old Bullet Club buddies from New Japan, the Machine Gun and and Luke Gallows pick up a much needed win against maybe the most over tag team along with New Day.
Yeah, and most definitely, and like you said, they needed this. 2 stars my rating for this fight. Good, solid, something you would see on Monday Night Raw though. But I'm gonna say this was a job well done, and I get it. I know why a lot of people are gonna be a little upset with the fact that Enzo and Cass did not get the win here tonight because it's starting to feel like NXT all over again. They get a good amount of run. They get some big matches on TV, but when it comes to the big fights, they choke. They lose those fights, and I don't know if it's because WWE Brass doesn't want to give them that big push, or if something different. But with Anderson and Gallows, they needed this because, like you said, the booking was so bad. They started out really hot. They started out really good. They started out like it looked like they were on the verge of something bigger, and then no. So we'll see what happens. But I will say this: good win, positive victory, something that you can work off and bank off. But we'll wait and see what happens in the near future. But I'm happy with the outcome. I'm happy with the victory for Anderson and Gallows. It's just, you just gotta have to wait another night when it comes to Enzo and Cass. So, with that said, gentlemen and lady, we move on to the second Hell in a Cell fight of the night.
Yes, indeed. Our second Hell in a Cell match. This one was for the WWE Universal Championship. You already know what the main event is after you hear those words. And they damn sure deserved it, and they damn sure delivered, and we'll get into that in a little while. But for right now, let's get into the Universal Championship Hell in a Cell match. Universal Champion Kevin Owens defending the title against number 1 contender Seth Rollins. Winner of the match in between 23 minutes and 13 seconds to 23 minutes and 15 seconds. And still the WWE Universal Champion Kevin Owens. Yes, Chris Jericho did get involved as expected. So I believe the Twisted Angel, Didi Woodson, gets to start us off on this one. So Didi Woodson, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins. We all remember last month at Clash of the Champions what a crap fest of hot monkey garbage that was. Was this better in your eyes or what?
It was better, yes, but like I said, I thought the first Hell in a Cell was better than this Hell in a Cell. And this is where I would say I probably would disagree with most of you because I have a feeling you all would rate this one better than the first one, but I could be wrong. For me, the biggest thing I think that made me make this one the third best instead of the second best is the fact that Jericho managed to weasel his way into the cell, which, of course, is legal once he's in there because it's no disqualification, but that's what the cell's made for, is to keep out the interference. And once you let that interference in there, pretty much the match, doesn't have the same capacity as it would have had if it was a one-on-one match. So in my personal opinion, yeah, the match was better than last month, but at the same time, throwing Jericho into this match when we know Kevin Owens can pull off a win on his own pretty much kind of just lowered the standards of that Universal title and that defense. So, I'm not going to celebrate Kevin Owens' win just because of the fact that he let his so-called best friend come in and pretty much do a lot, about half of the legwork for him to win the title. So, for me, I'll give it probably a three stars, but for me, it was not it wasn't the best out of the Hell in a Cell matches. So, Florio, I'll toss it back to you.
Second best fight of the night for me, Didi Woodson. Yes, you were correct in your assumption. 3 3/4 to 4 stars is my rating for this. even with the interference, which I am never a fan of, that was a complete spectacle, and I really loved it. While the interference takes away from the point of the sell, it didn't take away from the match because the crowd was into it. They created some great near falls off of it, and Rollins was booked strongly there in the loss, fighting off two men and almost overcoming to win the title. It also had a level of intensity that nothing else on the card had so far, which made it stand out even more. The only real issue here is that there were three matches that had to follow that. And what would the women have to do to try and rival all of that violence? But good work from Owens and Rollins. The Jericho interference seemed to be over with some in the crowd. Never crazy about interference in a Hell in a Cell match or any match for that matter. But you had to know it was coming. In fact, everything we saw up to that point felt very predictable, with the exception of the Gallows and Anderson match. The Hell in a Cell participants have worked very hard, but that's really all there is to say on that. So I agree with I agree with Dee Dee Woodson's assumption. Dee Dee assumed that we were going to rate this match higher than she did. Yes, you're absolutely correct on that, Dee Dee Woodson. In over 23 minutes, Owens wins it, still retains the title. Again, I expect, we talked about how I think Roman and Rusev are going to be a part of Team Raw for that men's match at Survivor Series, the 5-on-5. I think we got the other three: Owens, Rollins, Jericho. You put those three with Reigns and Rusev, that is one hell of a team for Team Raw. And if that is the team, SmackDown Live is going to have a long night in 3 weeks in the ACC. That's all there is to say on that. 3 3/4, 4 stars, second best fight of the night. MF, your thoughts on Owens and Rollins inside Hell in a Cell for the Universal title?
3 3/4, agree. Second best fight of the night, agreed. I didn't have a problem with this fight. I didn't have a problem with the match. I didn't have a problem with the interference. I had no problems with this. This was perfectly booked. I expected, with the Jericho interference, I guess, yeah, fine, whatever. I'm not going to make too light on that. But, I mean, with everything that was included in that match, it was good. It was good. Nothing bad to say. I just can't wait to get into that to some of the others later on. So I'm not going to waste too much time. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it about 3 3/4 of a star. I mean, yeah, I understand Dee Dee Woodson is not a big fan of it. Of the interference. I mean, I don't mind it at all. I mean, but the thing is, the match was still good. The crowd was basically into it. That's the key here, and they were into it. I was certainly into it. So, yeah. So basically, I got nothing more to say about it. So you pretty much touched on it. So 3 3/4 of a star for me. So that being said, Boyer, let's move on to our next matchup.
Okay. Next up on our Hell in a Cell review, for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship, champion TJ Perkins defending the title against #1 contender, the Brian Kendrick. Winner of the match in 10 minutes and 42 seconds. And the new WWE Cruiserweight Champion, the man with a plan, the Brian Kendrick, is your new WWE Cruiserweight Champion. 2 3/4 to 3 stars. They worked really hard, and in a way, I think this was their best singles outing. But the crowd just didn't care after the Cell match, which resulted in a poor atmosphere. I felt that the finish was the wrong call. Perkins knew that Kendrick was shady as hell, but he still played stupid-faced and checked on him anyway, which cost him. Perkins' run with the title should have been a benchmark to help establish the division, but it was never booked that way. He was a dude that did a bunch of video game talk and then ended up losing because he was dumb. And the reason it failed is because the crowd never bought it and knew Kendrick was faking, including myself, and hated that Perkins fell for it. Same here. The division has honestly not been executed well since its debut, and this did not help it. Good match, and Perkins looked like a gullible goof for losing in that fashion, especially since he saw through Kendrick's games early in the feud by blocking a sucker punch attempt in a backstage segment. Kendrick holding the title makes sense because, he's the only charismatic heel in the division, and there are stronger and better babyface challengers to choose from. By the way, it's time to go all out with Kendrick as a heel. Perhaps the fans will care more about his matches if he actually healed on them directly on the mic. And before I toss it to MF, two quick things. One, expect a rematch, maybe tomorrow night on Raw. Don't be surprised if Perkins decides to cash in the rematch clause at some point, or invoke the rematch clause, rather. But I just had another thought, a food for thought here. With the news coming out that Survivor Series is going to be a 4-hour event for the first time in its 30-year history, why not have a traditional Survivor Series elimination match with the cruiserweights? I'd be down with that. I'm sure you all would be down with that. Perhaps have TJ Perkins captain one team and Brian Kendrick captain the other. Maybe TJ Perkins with Sin Cara, Lince Dorado, Cedric Alexander, and Rich Swann. And on the other side, you have Brian Kendrick with Drew Gulak, Tony Nese, Arya Davari, and one other guy, maybe Anthony Bennett, because I think he was the other one that was seen. So just a food for thought, especially now that Survivor Series is going to be a 4-hour event. I think you should have a traditional Survivor match with the cruiserweights. And if you do that, holy crap, that's going to be one hell of a match. Really will. And if you want us to take the cruiserweights seriously, WWE, book that match. Simple as that. 2 3/4 to 3 stars. MF, your thoughts on this match and Brian Kendrick becoming the new cruiserweight champion?
All right, first off, congratulations, Brian Kendrick, on winning the title. Well done. I'm very happy for you. I think you're going to be a great representation of the cruiserweight division. Now, as far as the fight, I absolutely hated this match. For me, this was the worst fight of the night. I cannot believe they let TJ Perkins, TJP, my boy, become basically, he's the flag bearer of your division. You brought the belt back after the greatness of the CWC. And this is how you do him? I mean, I'm sorry, man. I'm happy that Kendrick won it, but something like this, as stupid as this ending was, almost made me want to check out of the cruiserweight division. That bad. And I'm even going to go one step further. This whole cruiserweight division has been a complete and utter failure in my eyes. Since day one, since everything has been booked, everybody's been saying, oh, give it a chance, give it a chance, give it a chance. I'm done with the cruiserweight division as of tonight. I am not going to cover it no more up to this point, because if this is what we're going to get, this never should have came to Raw in the first place. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock.
Holy crap, man. Fletcher, tell us how you really feel. Woo! I don't even know how the heck I'm going to follow that. But you know what? I'm actually going to try it. I mean, yeah, congratulations to Brian Kendrick on becoming the new Cruiserweight champion. But the match, I have to agree with Michael Fletcher. I did not like this match at all. This was the worst fight of the night. I mean, this is TJ Perkins. TJ freaking Perkins, who just won the Cruiserweight Classic, and this is how you book him now? I'm sorry. I hate to say this, but I got to agree with Fletch. This Cruiserweight division is an absolute joke. And now I can understand why, when I read the preview for Derek Ferreira, why he said this Cruiserweight division has been an absolute dud. And I can see why he's saying it. And I agree with him. If this is the way the Cruiserweight division is going to be, I'm not even going to bother talking about it when we review Cruiserweight matches on Raw, because if this is the kind of hot monkey garbage we're going to get, you know what? Why the hell did you bring back the Cruiserweight division I hate to say it, but it has got to go. I mean, if you're going to make this division look so freaking bad, then why'd you bring it back in the first place? So I know I'm probably being harsh about it, but it has got to go. I'm done. I'm finished. Dee Woodson, move on.
Hey, I'll agree with you guys. It was not worth the time to even put it on. I hate to say this, but if this is what they put on Raw, I'm glad I don't get to see Raw because of work. Because that wasn't, like y'all said, an utter joke. It was not worth the time. That would be where my diva rants would end up going now, would be to the cruiserweights, because they certainly are disrespecting the belt and disrespecting the legacy of the cruiserweights in this whole division. So, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to rate this match, and I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So, Florida, it's yours.
And let me just put this matter to bed by saying this. WWE made a big mistake by putting this on Monday Night Raw. It should have been on SmackDown Live to begin with. I mean, Mauro Ranallo, who's your commentator on that show, I mean, him and Daniel Bryan, who's the general manager, it would have
They would have booked this division better than the way Monday Night Raw is.
Right? Come on. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I mean, that's what they should have done.
And the thing is, the cruiserweights used to be part of SmackDown, whether it was on Thursday night or Friday night.
And I agree. And one other thing, SmackDown was always preaching about the land of opportunity, being very innovative, doing something that's different than their counterparts. This is where the cruiserweight division would have been perfect for SmackDown, because of the fact that innovation, all that stuff that they were preaching about, would be more satisfying on a SmackDown brand than anything else. Because with the limited time that they do, you could actually book it a lot more tighter, a lot more better, and the quality of the matches would be a lot more. It wouldn't be as lackadaisical as Raw has been. And the thing is, the cruiserweight division itself is so thin that there's not that many guys, and even on a 3-hour show, you think, oh, this would be a great platform, and they're underutilizing them.
Amen. I agree.
It's becoming an absolute joke.
The Cruiserweight Classic. The Cruiserweight Classic was off the hook. Why couldn't WWE book the Cruiserweight division on Raw like they did with the Cruiserweight Classic? Why? Of course, because
why? Because of Vince McDinkleberg and Kevin Bucktooth Beaver Dunn.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on. Let's give a little bit of some credence here on McMahon, because from what I know, McMahon really hasn't been all over the cruiserweight. So I mean, I don't know if that's on him. Maybe it's Kevin Dunn. I can definitely throw that. Maybe Dunn's throwing them under the bus. And if he is, then, you can go off on him any day of the week. But as far as McMahon goes, I don't think he's had no in that. He hasn't really been. The hands is not all over that right now, as of now. But we'll wait and see what happens. But It is what it is.
It is what it is, but long story short, Cruiserweight should have been on SmackDown Live, not Monday Night Raw. I mean, after all, it was Mauro Ranallo and Daniel Bryan who was the commentary team for that. It should have been on their show to begin with. And
as long as it's on Raw, it's going to continue to suck.
Of course. You expect it to get better anytime soon, even if they do a traditional Survivor Series elimination match, which I think they're going to?
No.
I don't know. No.
I don't think so.
Unless we see otherwise.
Monday Night Raw's been booking their shows as of late.
Unless we see otherwise. So,
this is why I've been highly critical of Monday Night Raw.
Indeed. So we agree on that. So
yeah, and if something else happens, I am ready to go off the ledge in a big way.
I know all three of you are giving up and throwing in the towel. rightfully so. I'm not gonna bash you for it, but you know me being the man of faith that I am, I'm not giving up yet. I'm not giving up.
You cannot give up on it, but you know what? I'm so freaking done. If they're gonna continue to book hot monkey garbage like this for the cruiserweight division, why even bother watching it?
Very true. Very true. But I'm not giving up. I'm never giving up. That cruiserweight, I mean, it's because of that cruiserweight classic. So that's it. So with that being said, let's just move on to our next match. WWE Tag Team Championship on the line. Champions the New Day going into day number 434 of their historic title reign, defending against the randomly thrown together tag team of Sheamus and Cesaro. Winners of the match, Sheamus and Cesaro. However, it was via a disqualification. Sheamus and Cesaro win the match, but they don't win the WWE World Tag Team Championship. Kofi Kingston hit a Trouble in Paradise on Sheamus on the outside. Referee caught it. Disqualifies New Day. Sheamus and Cesaro win. Time of the fall between 11 minutes and 21 seconds to between 11 minutes and 15 seconds to 11 minutes and 21 seconds. But nonetheless, Sheamus and Cesaro win the match, but they don't win the titles. So I'm trying to think.
It's my turn because Fletcher let off on the.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes.
Cruiserweight match.
I thought I did.
No.
Hold on.
No, I think Fletch let off on the cruiserweight match.
D.D. Woodson led off on Owens and Rollins. No, I started off the cruiserweight match. So
Yep.
MF actually starts this
all
because
right.
D.D. led off on the Hell in a Cell match with Owens and Rollins. So MF, you get the leadoff spot on this one. Tag Team Championship match. Sheamus and Cesaro win it via disqualification. New Day keeps the titles at least for one more night. So what do you think? Did this match live up to your expectations? Encourage, discourage?
All right. I'm going to say this. I mean, creative way, well, I hated the ending. DQ finishes, we always go absolutely ballistic over DQ finishes. All right, fine. I can get with that. I thought the fight was okay. I'm not going to be too much of a Debbie Downer. The way I see it, I think the way the match ended, I could have called for something a little more better than that, but it is what it is. The problem is that now the New Day is not going to put the belts on the line at Survivor Series because that's because of the 10-man Survivor tag. So we got to wait till maybe December. The week before Christmas, for the next Raw pay-per-view. So, I mean, they'll have to do it then, but I don't know. I mean, I'll give this about maybe 2.25 stars just for the effort. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'll give it 2 stars as my rating for the match. I mean, yeah, the match was fine for what it was, but I just did not like the ending. I mean, it left a bitter taste in the mouth, but you know what? It is what it is. So there's really nothing more for me to say about it. So 2 stars is my rating. D.D. Woodson, I give it to you.
D.D. Woodson, are you with us? Well, I noticed that she went in and out a little bit ago, so I'm hoping she's not having difficulties, but it looks like she might be. So hopefully D.D. Woodson can get her. Okay, D.D. Woodson, you with us now?
Yeah.
All right. Your thoughts on the tag team title match?
Probably stealing my cigarettes too. Okay. I just got to work, so that's why I had to kind of disappear for a minute. Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good match. Not anything to write home about, but let's see. I'm trying to get to my notes. Where are they? I gave it about a 3 stars for the match, and the ending is what I thought was really kind of fucked up there at the end. Sorry for the language, but I mean, you've got one of them in the ring doing a submission hold, and the other one out there trying to fend everybody off, and then I'm guessing Kofi deliberately hit them so that they could retain the titles is what I'm thinking. So I don't know. The match itself up to that point I thought was fairly good. So not much more I'm going to say about it. So I'll toss it back to you guys.
Who do I agree with? I actually agree with Didi Woodson's rating on this one. I'm gonna give it to the Twisted Angel on this one, and a little more. Before I give you my rating, let me give you my liner notes. The finish wasn't satisfying, but that's okay. It was a creative finish that kept the program going, though I'm not sure when they'll get back to it. It may play out on television. As MF alluded to, there's not a Monday Night Raw pay-per-view until the week before Christmas. That's December the 18th. That's going to be the Roadblock event. That's going to be in Pittsburgh. Much like their Raw match, I felt that they really worked well together and put together a good match. They played the Sheamus and Cesaro dynamic well, with both guys still having their difference of opinion, but also showing that they wanted to be champions. It really felt as if the crowd was into this and that the title change would have actually played out well. But WWE is all about history and breaking numbers on title reigns. And this was there to help extend the New Day's title reign and to set up a rematch. I really enjoyed the match. The booking, I agree with you. We're all in agreement. We did not enjoy the booking, not so much. But nonetheless, as far as star ratings go, I'm going to actually side with Didi Woodson on this one and a little more. 3 to 3.25 stars. That's the correct rating for this bout. MF and Bullock, I think you severely underscored it. That's just my personal opinion, but it is what it is. But then again, we don't always see eye to eye on star ratings on certain bouts. But now let's see what we all think about what's coming up next. History was made here, ladies and gentlemen, in so many ways. For the first time ever in WWE pay-per-view history. Well, it's not only the first time we saw 2 females step inside Hell in a Cell. Yes, that was a first. But what was also a first is for the first time ever in WWE pay-per-view history, 2 women main evented a pay-per-view. You actually did something right, WWE. You actually, by golly, did something right. I can't believe I'm saying that. For the WWE Raw Women's Championship, champion and hometown girl Sasha Banks defending the title against challenger and former 2-time champion Charlotte inside Hell in a Cell. The winner of the match in. Let me get my liner notes here. Varying from 22 minutes and 20 seconds to 22 minutes and 25 seconds. The winner of the match. And once again, the WWE Raw Women's Champion. She got the 3-peat. The Queen has taken back her throne. Charlotte is once again the WWE Raw Women's Champion. How about that? Michael Bullock, Phenom, you start off on the most historic main event in WWE pay-per-view history. Your thoughts on this big one?
Man, oh man! I mean, what a Hell in a Cell match this was, and this to me was the fight of the night here. I'm gonna give it about, I'll give it about 4 to 4.5 stars as my rating on the match. I mean, yeah, the match never really got underway because there was some extracurricular activity outside. But I mean, they battled outside the cell before, and the sick part was when Charlotte powerbombed Sasha through the announce table. I mean, how often do you see that happen when it comes to the women? I mean, normally we see that with the guys, but with the women, oof. I mean, there was some parts of the match, that left me cringing, and we kept wondering going into this match how much of the cell was going to be used, and boy howdy, they certainly used it and then some, and we even saw steel chairs and tables being used in this match. I mean, holy moly, this was just something. And what a surprise outcome. I mean, Charlotte is now a 3-time WWE Women's Champion. I know some people probably don't like the outcome. Granted, I don't like it either, and congratulations to Charlotte for becoming a 3-time Women's Champion. So definitely my fight of the night. So 4 to 4.5 stars is my rating on it. So I don't know how you guys feel about it, but Dee Woodson, give us your thoughts on this historic occasion.
Well, for one, it's about freaking time that the ladies get to main event a match at a pay-per-view. And for two, it was definitely the fight of the night. I'm not a fan of cheap shots or anything, but, pretty much knew what Charlotte was up to when she, did all the attacks while the cell was coming down. And probably the scariest moment was Sasha getting underneath where the cage was going to come down at, and them having to stop that before it crushed her. But still, it was a really, really, really great match. I really enjoyed it. Hats off to both ladies. They put it out there. They pretty much, they definitely stole the show. They put everything on the line and then some. So, I'm really pleased with all that. So, for me, I'm going to give it 4 to 4.5 stars. It was a very, very good match, and, nothing bad to say about it at all. So, Florio, it's yours.
I'm right there with you on the ratings, my friends. No doubt about it. 4 to 4.5 stars. The fight of the night. The rightful main event. The crowd was hot for the match, and the women worked as hard as anyone on the show. The match was physical, but I'm happy we didn't get any insane stunts off the structure. One of the big things the main event had going for it was that there was a sense of mystery regarding the outcome, which just wasn't there for the other matches. Charlotte going over in Boston is somewhat surprising, but they clearly gave Sasha the big out with the back injury angle. Overall, the women made the otherwise predictable night. As an overall effort and presentation, the women delivered in the main event. I felt that they worked with a level of brutality, fitting of the match, and that the pre-match angle to start things off set the stage very well. Banks' selling did get a bit dodgy, but I did love that they went back to it when she went for the powerbomb, which makes it not a complete waste. It went a little long as the reactions diminished down the stretch, and the finish was extremely flat, which took away from things. On top of the table not breaking twice, the fact that after all of that brutality, that they simply went with the natural selection for the finish felt out of place and no one bought it. And then there is the fact that they once again had Banks win the title and lose it right back, this time in her hometown nonetheless. You already had her win the title and lose it back. She was a superstar here in her hometown. And I just don't understand having the hometown face losing the title again, this time in this location. It's not that Charlotte isn't worthy. It's that Banks' title wins mean less and less. 2 reigns, both, I believe, under a combined 30 days. When she wins and loses so quickly like this. But other than that, that's the only little gripe I have. But other than that, the rightful main event, they got it right. And it delivered. Absolutely, positively lived up to the hype and then some. I agree with Bullock and Didi's ratings 4 to 4.5 stars. Fight of the night. And as one of my favorite commentators, John Bradshaw Layfield, Mr. JBL, likes to say, somebody call the sheriff because these two beauties just stole the show. Girl MF, Michael Fletcher, your thoughts on this most historic main event?
All right. Where do I begin? Great match. 4 to 4.5. Fight of the night. No doubt about it. I'm not going to argue with that. But everything was great. I don't know about the entrances for both women. I mean, yeah, they were a little bit spectacle more than anything else. Got a little bit of a WrestleMania feel out of it, which is cool. Actually, they recycled Sasha's entrance. You saw that at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. They just recycled it over second time around. And then they used Charlotte basically a la Macho Sensational Sherry, or even back in the day where all the classic kings in WWF history, where they used to have, then come out in the throne, down to the ring. So,
Harley Race and Haku.
Harley Race, Haku. I actually, even Hacksaw King Duggan actually had it at one time too. So,
Yes,
I mean,
Savage, yeah.
You get that type of moment. So, okay, fine, whatever. You get the great beginning with the match, how, they fought before the cell even came to the ground. So you had the nice little brawl, that bump with the Spanish announce table where it looked like they were going to announce Charlotte the champion because Sasha was going to be a no-go because of the back. Then Sasha comes out, pulling a Mick Foley, saying, you know what, hell no, I'm not going to go down like this. I want to fight her. I'm going to go at it. We're going to get this fight going. I'm not relinquishing my belt like this. So, you get that. So already I'm excited. I'm already enthralled. You already got me hooked. And, the match was amazing. All the, everything, the weaponry, the whole 9 yards. The body work was amazing. Yes, I'll give you all that. But the bull junk finish, a natural selection, a 1, 2, 3, and you make Sasha Banks, Boston's New England blood, and you make her drop the effing belt in Boston tonight? I want to go Cerebral Viper so freaking bad right now, but it is a PG show, so I won't go there. I am so disgusted with this finish and with the fact that she dropped the belt. I am beyond disgusted with this. But, once again, WWE has to pull the rug out from under us on such a great moment. Why? Why does it ever happen in WWE when a person who gets a hometown rub gets the rug pulled out from under them? It seems like every stinking time it happens. It almost like it boggles my mind half the time. It does. And yet again, the harlot, Charlotte, whatever, is your champion again. Nobody gives a crap about her. Nobody. Do you see the reaction from the crowd in Boston tonight? Do you honestly think the fans went home happy? Hell freaking no. Without a doubt, WWE, you had this big moment. You put the women as your main event. Hurrah! Congratulations! Pat yourself on the back. But you did the stupid booking. Why? Because she's so high on Triple H and Vince McMahon that you want to give her the belt back? Why? Because she's Ric Flair's freaking daughter? I'm done. I'm sorry. I'm done with this. Floyo, go.
Whew.
All right. With that being said, now it's time for our overall review of Hell in a Cell. And I think Dee Dee Whitson starts it off. So, Dee Dee Whitson, your overall thoughts on the night show?
For the most part, I thought it was a fairly good show. Now, I'm not going to say it was awesome by any stretch of the means because, the main matches that amounted to anything were the 3 Hell in the Cell matches. The little minor ones wasn't really even super newsworthy. But for me, I'm probably going to give it about I'll say 7.5 stars, teetering on 8, just because of how most of the matches went. I can see some of Fletch's points on the whole main event issues, but at the same time, I mean, there still was not a whole lot of bad in my opinion, that you could see to say about it. So I'm not going to say too much more. So it's yours, Anthony.
I'm going to give it a solid 7 out of 10. WWE Hell in a Cell 2016 was a good but flawed show. The in-ring varies from solid to excellent, and they did a good job of making the 3 cell matches feel different. But the booking for me holds it back. The finish of the Cruiserweight title, tag team title, and finish of the women's title match being the main culprits. They all took away from the show on some level for me. In my opinion, this is a show that, with a few changes, goes from good to possibly great. That's all I can say about it. I mean, all 3 Hell in a Cell matches were the fights of the night, the top 3 fights of the night. Sasha Banks and Charlotte was the fight of the night, no doubt about it. Second best fight, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins for the Universal belt. And then Roman and Rusev rounds out the top 3 for the U.S. belt. And then as far as the undercard goes, the tag team title was my 4th best fight of the night. And then I would probably have to give the 5th best fight to the Cruiserweights. And then Enzo and Cass against Gallows and Anderson. And then rounding out as the worst fight of the night by default for me, Dana Brooke and Bayley. So it's a 7 out of 10. And as far as what I see for Survivor Series, I mean, we already know we're going to see Bill Goldberg going up against Brock Lesnar, which is practically already penciled in as the main event of that show. Of course, you got the 3 traditional Survivor Series elimination matches, Raw versus SmackDown Live for the men, which I think will be Kevin Owens, Rusev, Chris Jericho, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns going up against the SmackDown Live team. And they took not 1 but 2 big hits, because I just read a dirt sheet a short time ago. John Cena and Randy Orton are no longer advertised for Survivor Series because John Cena is filming his American Grit reality show for Fox season 2, and Randy Orton's wife just had a baby. So who knows how long Orton's going to be out. So maybe that was a reason why they did that bizarre angle the other night with the Wyatt family. So we'll have to wait and see on that. But SmackDown Live just lost 2 major stars. So it's going to be very difficult to find out who's going to be the 5. I already know 3. I can still see it being AJ Styles. I can still see it being Dean Ambrose. AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Dolph Ziggler, and The Miz. That's 4. They just need 1 more. I don't know who that could be, but we'll have to wait and see. For the tag teams, for Raw, I think it's going to be New Day, Sheamus and Cesaro, Gallows and Anderson, Enzo and Cass, and maybe the Shining Stars to round that out. And then for SmackDown Live, you probably got to give Heath Slater and Rhino, Hype Brothers, Usos, American Alphas, and maybe the Vaudevillains with the Ascension. I don't know, or the Vaudevillains or something. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And then for the women, for Raw, you would have to imagine Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Nia Jax, maybe Dana Brooke rounds out that team. And then for the SmackDown side, Nikki Bella, Becky Lynch, Alexa Bliss, Carmella, maybe Naomi. So that's how I feel for that. And now that it's going to be a 4-hour show, don't be surprised if they decide to throw in a cruiserweight Survivor match. That's just how I feel. So You don't need Derek Ferrer to do a prediction. I can just give you one right here and now. That's how I feel the card's going to play out for the Survivor Series. So that's it for this. 7 out of 10. I wanted to give MF a lot of time to cool off after that very heated rant, that cerebral viper mode he just went on. Yes, it was a PG show, MF, and yes, but that was still cerebral viper mode. That was good enough for me. So your overall thoughts on this show? I know you're still heated, but hopefully you've cooled off a little bit.
I'll give it 7 out of 10. I mean, there's a lot I hate about Monday Night Raw right now that, I'm so glad we're not doing Ridiculously Raw tomorrow night, because I don't even know if I even want to watch Raw. It just personally deep down. The Hell in a Cells delivered. No doubt about it. They all had their flaws. They all had their issues. No doubt about it. Predictable into the third just really just set me off. And then when you got the non-title fights, I mean, predictable booking on the tag team titles. The Cruiserweight don't even get me started. Then with Bailey and Dana Brooke, I got nothing wrong with that. That was predictable. We expected that. I know a lot of people are really slamming this show, calling it a C-. Some of them are going even worse than that. So you're talking about maybe 7, maybe 6.5, down in that level. But I thought it was a presentable show. It was good. Not great. But like you said, if the booking would have been different, oh my God, we were going 8, 9. Maybe we were even talking about event of the year. But it's solid. It's good. Nothing bad to say. But like I said, the weight they got to, I don't know why, but for a show like this, it delivered. But one other gripe I had, this went over 3 hours. I mean, didn't you guys start feeling like you were getting a little burnt out around the 3:15 mark or something like that? Because I was starting to get a little burnt out over once it went past 3 hours, even though the action was great. But then you give us that ending, and oh my God, I was like, what a waste, But nothing more to say. 7 out of 10. Bullock, take it home.
Yeah, a 7 out of 10 for me as well. I mean, the 3 Hell in a Cell matches definitely delivered. They were the top fights of the night. But yeah, I mean, as far as the ending, I agree with everything that Fletcher said. I mean, this is Sasha Banks' hometown, and you have her drop the belt to Charlotte? It made absolutely no sense whatsoever. No, and I'm sorry I know this is a PG show, but I'm so upset over this. It makes no fucking sense to me. I'm sorry. But what WWE did tonight was complete bullshit. And I'm calling Kevin Bucktooth Beaver Dunn out on this one. I mean, like I said to you, Mr. Dunn, I mean, this is Sasha Banks' hometown, and you decide, screw it. I don't care if this is her hometown. We're dropping the bell, and we're giving it back to Charlotte. It makes no freaking sense, and I mean, and I don't give 2 craps that Charlotte is the champion again. I mean, this makes absolutely no sense. I'm upset about it, and screw you, Kevin Dunn, and the way you run things on Raw. This is why SmackDown Live is kicking Raw's ass right now. So, that being said, I'm done. Florio, let's just end this before I really blow some steam even more.
Derek Ferrer and I had a little bit of a Facebook comment chat this afternoon, and we're thinking about starting something new here, and it's called we're going to do our own take on the list of Jericho, if you will. And we're going to start off with a list of stupid idiots.
Roger Goodell is up there.
He's the first entrant. Plain and simple.
I guess we could put a second entrant. Kevin Bucktooth Beaver Dunn? You just made the list.
Because of the way that you booked the women's championship match ending, You just made the list. You stupid, stupid idiots. That's all there is to say about that. So, a great night, a historic night. What a horrible way to end such a historic night. That's all I can say about it. Absolutely horrible. I
He
mean,
doesn't care about what the fans want. He only cares about
do
what
they ever
he
care
wants.
about what we want? No, they care about what they want because it's their company. It's not our company. It's their company. Simple as that. So,
And you know what? If I ran into him, I'd say it right in front of his face.
you have to get in line because I want the first shot because I'm the raw guy out of all this. So, how do you think I feel? I mean,
I'm right behind you, Florio.
yeah. So, let me just say it like this: SmackDown Live is the far and away better show. It's the more consistent, it's the more entertaining show, and this is why they're way better than Monday Night Raw right now. I mean, yes, it was a good show tonight. Yes, it got the 7 out of 10, but it was. I mean, Bullet said it had to be at least a 7 out of 10. Thankfully, it was. So, or else we would have gone further off. But all the Hell in a Cell matches were phenomenal. I'll give you all that. But just the way that women's match ended, that was absolutely, by God, horrible.
That was hot freaking garbage.
I can't remember the last time I was so sour over a main event ending. It's been a while, but nonetheless, we're gonna put the bow on this edition of. We're gonna mercifully put the bow on this this recap edition of Hell in a Cell. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in and putting up with our rants and our gripes and whatnot, even though there were positives. Due to tomorrow being the Halloween holiday, a rare night off, there will be no Ridiculously Raw tomorrow night. Praise the Lord.
Thank goodness for that.
Yeah, especially with the moods we're in. And
Because I'll tell you what, if tomorrow's Raw was bad, I would have been ready to go off and I would have said I'm done with Monday Night Raw.
the only bright spot is we're gonna get another live appearance from Bill Goldberg. So that's it. So that's good news. That's very good news. I'm glad to hear that Bill Goldberg is going to be in Hartford tomorrow night, the Elite XL Center, formerly the Hartford Civic Center, Hartford, Connecticut. Pretty much WWE country because they're right up the road in Stamford, the headquarters. So we'll have to wait and see. Bill Goldberg is going to be on the show, but I got a bad feeling this show is going to be marred and ruled by Halloween campy comedy silliness.
Full funky nonsense.
Yeah, Halloween silliness. That's what this show is probably going to be marred by.
Campy comedy, bull funky gobbledygook nonsense.
Yeah, I don't give a damn if it's Halloween. If it was me, I would start putting together the card for Survivor Series. That's what I would do. Because now we're in Survivor Series mode now. So
yeah, but Kevin Dunn, he ain't gonna do that.
No, because Bucktooth Beaver. I thought Beavers was supposed to be eager, not lazy. Duh. So, and clearly that's what he is because we all know how lazy they are when it comes to their booking. Main event. If you saw the main event tonight, that was lazy booking at its finest, right there, or at its worst. So that's all I can say. So, all right, let's put the ball on this. We're done with this. So, so thank you all so very much for tuning in. No Ridiculously Raw tomorrow night. We're going to be back with you Tuesday night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on MF channel, Braves Fan 95.
And I will be on that show Tuesday night.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear that. That's great. So, yeah, it's not often we get you on that show, but I'm glad to hear you're going to be on. So,
yeah, it's usually tough for me, but this is a rare time I'll make an appearance.
That's great to hear. Because we know we're gonna get a damn good show. We already know we already got something to look forward to when it comes to that. So we're gonna review SmackDown Live, and then MF will have his Mikey's mindset with ROH, Lucha Underground, maybe some RWA, and we'll also keep you updated, and we'll also give you updates if they are warranted throughout Game 6 of the World Series. Because that's going to be going on when we're doing Cerebral Smack Talk. So we're looking forward to that on Tuesday night. Definitely a great night of Shakespearean drama ahead. Another night, I should say, because we had a lot of great Shakespearean drama tonight with Game 5 of the World Series. And not to mention Sunday Night Football. What a game that was. The Dallas Cowboys defeating the Philadelphia Eagles 30-24 in overtime. So or I should say, yeah, it was right around that 30-23 in overtime, rather 29-23 in overtime. That it was that was a 5-star game. I'll tell you that right now. So that's on Tuesday. We're off on Wednesday, and then Thursday we'll be back for college football Thursday. Co-games of the week, the 2 primetime games, Nebraska against Ohio State and Alabama against LSU. Friday night, we got NFL Friday, headlined by another big Sunday night matchup, the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders in the Black Hole. Really looking forward to that one. First place in the AFC West on the line. And that's it. Our next pay-per-view won't be until the weekend of November 19th and November 20th, when we're going to preview and recap the 30th annual 30th annual WWE Survivor Series. Boy, howdy, am I looking forward to that. And that better be a damn good show. That's all I can say. So with that being said, that's going to put the bow on this. So until Tuesday night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, it's ridiculously the man who tells it like it is, signing off for the Phenom Michael Bullock, for the First Lady of the Wrestling Forum and the Twisted Angel Dee Woodson, and in spirit, good old MF Michael Fletcher and the Hardcore Pipe Bomb Derek Ferreira. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Cannot stress that enough. And have a blessed next couple of days. And until Tuesday night for this Real Smack Talk, you've been watching the Hell in a Cell 2016 recap edition of the Wrestling Forum right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube.com. And remember, no matter what anyone tells you, wrestling is indeed actually real. Good night, everybody.